Yes, students, now we will revise the topic of e-way bill. The provisions with respect to e-way bill is given in section 68 of CGST Act, which has to be read along with few rules, guys. That is rule 138, 138A, 138B, C, D, E of CGST rules. Yes. And whatever provisions are contained in CGST Act, similar provisions are covered under even the SGST Act, that is the state laws. And there is no separate provisions with respect to e-way bill covered in IGST Act. So as per section 20 of IGST Act, whatever we are learning here as per CGST Act, mutatis mutandis will be applicable, guys. Yes, sir. Now let us see what is the provisions with respect to e-way bill or electronic way bill. Section 68 of CGST Act 2017 provides that the government may require the person in charge of conveyance, okay, in simple transporter, carrying any consignment of goods of value exceeding such amount. How much? And they didn't tell here. It is given in the rules. Okay. As may be specified, to carry with him such documents and such devices as may be prescribed. Actually speaking, guys, section 68 just gave a power. There is no content in section 68. Everything they told as may be prescribed, as may be specified. Sir, where is it prescribed or where is it specified? In the rules, guys. So the actual content is given in the rules. Okay. Electronic way bill, that is e-way bill, is a compliance mechanism wherein by way of digital interface, the person causing the movement of goods, means whoever is causing the movement of goods, normally the supplier, uploads the relevant information prior to the commencement of the movement of goods and generate e-way bill on the GST portal. Okay, so e-way bill has to be generated on the GST portal, guys. Following are the benefits of e-way bill mechanism. Previously, means under the previous indirect tax regime, we didn't have the concept of e-way bill and all, but it used to take a lot of time for the goods carriages or even for a truck or lorry to pass on the check post, guys. But now, after the introduction of e-way bill under the GST, the time is saved. So what are the benefits or advantages? Physical interface to pay way for digital interface, resulting in elimination of state boundary check post. Okay. Previously it used to be like this. In all the check post, the goods vehicle used to stand like this for hours together or sometimes even days together to just the pass through the check post and reach the delivery place. Yes. It will facilitate the faster movement of goods now because it is completely technology based. Now the proper officer, if he wants to verify the goods within the or inside the truck, then sir, should he physically verify? Need not, guys. If you just check through e-way bill number, now whenever e-way bill is generated, a unique number would be generated. Using that, the proper officer can check up full details about goods, the supplier, whom we also call it as consigner, on also consignee. Yes, sir. Then consignee means recipient normally. Yes. For e-way bill, we use the word consigner, consignee, guys. Consigner is nothing but the supplier, whereas consignee is nothing but recipient. Okay, sir. Fine. It will improve the turnaround time of trucks and help the logistics industry by average distance traveled, reducing the travel time as well as cost. So turnaround time is what is the time taken to go deliver the goods and come back by a truck. Yes. So by introduction of the e-way bill, the turnaround time has been reduced, which in turn will help us to save cost. Help us in the sense the traveling industry or logistics industries, guys. Yes, sir. So this will make them to deliver more and more goods within a particular time, guys. Instead of delivering one, maybe they can deliver two now. Yes, sir. So now we will actually get into the content of e-way bill, guys. Yes. The procedure for generation of e-way bill. E-way bill is a document introduced under the GST regime that needs to be generated before transportation or shipping of goods worth more than 50,000, whether it is within the state or outside the state. So in simple, whenever there is a movement of goods, whether within the state or even outside the state, even if it is not for a supply, if it is for a supply, we should generate e-way bill. Okay. But even if it is not for a supply, for example, goods is going for a job work, and if consignment value is more than 50,000, still e-way bill has to be generated. Still e-way bill has to be generated, guys. Okay. So because some people will believe that only if it is going outside the state, we need to generate e-way bill. No, even if it is within the state, if the consignment value is more than 50,000, we have to generate e-way bill. Okay, sir. Fine. So what is given in Rule 138? We will see. Rule 138 of CGST rules provides that every registered person who causes the movement of goods of consignment value exceeding 50,000. Okay. Sir, what is this consignment value? Very important, guys, because they may ask the questions with respect to this. Consignment value is nothing but the value of supply plus GST. Very simple. We already learned how to calculate value of supply as per section 15. No? Yes, we need to take it. But while calculating value of supply, we will not include the GST component. Anything charged under GST, we will not include. Correct? Yes. But here to calculate the consignment value, we should include the GST component, guys. Whether it is CGST, SGST, IGST, whatever it is, we need to include it. Is that clear? Yes. So if consignment value is more than 50,000, then we need to generate e-way bill. Okay. Whether it is with respect to supply or for reasons other than supply, I already mentioned, sir, even if the goods movement is going without a supply, for example, it is going, assume there is a movement of goods for job work where consignment value is more than 50,000. Should we generate e-way bill? Yes. Or else, assume I am transporting the goods from one branch to another branch, which is within the same state. That means they are not separately registered. They are not distinct person. So there is a movement of goods from one branch to another branch even without supply. In that case, should we generate e-way bill? Yes. Then, due to inward supply from unregistered person, now assume on my inward supply, sir, the supplier is not registered. So if supplier is not registered, can I generate the e-way bill as a recipient? Yes. Normally, supplier is the one who will generate e-way bill. But if by chance, if supplier is not registered, can recipient generate? Yes. There are actually three options to generate e-way bill. First is always the supplier. If supplier is not generating, then recipient. If not both, then transporter can generate. Transporter can generate, guys. Okay. Shall, before the commencement of such movement, furnish information relating to the said goods as specified in Part A of Form GST EWB01. This is the form number, guys, to generate e-way bill. So in this form, in Part A, we need to give goods details. Okay. Electronically on the common portal, that is GST portal, and a unique number will be generated on the said portal. And using that unique number, can we update the vehicle details? Yes, in part B. So once we have given the goods details in part a unique e-way bill number would be generated, guys. Using that, either the supplier or the recipient or even the transporter can update the vehicle details in part B. So that part B part we will see later. Okay, fine. So we saw here value exceeding 50,000. What value, sir? Consignment value. So what is consignment value is given in the explanation, guys. You can see here, which I have highlighted in green color. Important. Consignment value of goods is the value of supply under section 15. Okay, we already learned how to calculate value of supply. And also includes, value of supply will not include GST, right? Yes, but here consignment value means value of supply plus GST, and also includes CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST, or even cess if it is applicable. Charged, if any, and shall exclude. Okay, so simple, guys. If you want, you can just write it like this. So consignment value is equal to value of supply plus GST. Okay, but it shall exclude, what is it? Value of exempt supply of goods where the invoice is issued in respect of both exempt as well as taxable supply of goods, guys. So that 50,000 value plus GST we need to consider only for taxable supply of goods. Yes, sir. So just a minute. I will just show you few illustrations. Yes. This is on the consignment value calculation. You can just see. Assume the value of taxable goods is 40,000 and on that GST is 10%. I'm just randomly taken the rate 4,000. So what is the consignment value? 44,000. So it is less than 50,000. So is it mandatory to generate e-way bill? No. But if consignment value is less than 50,000, can we still voluntarily generate e-way bill? Yes, voluntarily you can do it, but not mandatory. But not mandatory, guys. Oh, coming to illustration 2. Value of taxable goods is 48,000. Very important. Observe GST at 10% of it, 4,800. So consignment value is 52,800, more than 50,000. So should we generate e-way bill? Yes, mandatory. Especially this kind of illustration or question they can ask, guys. So please be very careful. Where the value will be less than 50,000, but if you add GST, it will be more than 50,000. Very important. Yes, sir. Next, value of taxable goods is 30,000. On that, GST is 3,000. That is 10%. Value of exempt goods. Okay, both the goods are going in the same vehicle, so they are supplied together. 20,000 value of exempt supply. Yes, sir. What is consignment value? It will not include the exempt supply of goods, guys. So consignment value is only 33,000. That is 30 plus 3. It is less than 50,000. So e-way bill is not mandate. Okay. Then the last one. Value of taxable supply as per section 15 is 60,000 plus 10% GST on it, 66. And also there is a value of exempt goods supplied together with or along with the taxable supply of goods. So how much is that value? 30,000. So if you are calculating consignment value, how much it is, guys? 66,000. 66,000. Will this be included? No. As 66,000 is more than 50,000, should we generate e-way bill? Yes. We have to generate e-way bill. Hope you got it. Yes, sir. Okay. Coming back to this, there is one proviso here. Let us read it. Proviso. Provided also that where the handicraft goods or the goods made by craftsmen are transported outside the state or the union territory by a person who has been exempted from the requirement of obtaining the registration under section 23, the e-way bill shall be generated by the said person irrespective of the value of the consignment. Guys, this is a person for whom the registration is exempted as per section 23. If I am a person who is supplying notified handicraft goods or the goods which is predominantly made by hand, that is by craftsman, then even if I am supplying these goods outside the state, they told registration is not mandatory as per section 24. Where is it given this provision? In section 23. Okay, but it is subject to conditions. What are those conditions, sir? The aggregate turnover should be within 20 lakh or 10 lakh, and the person should be having his PAN, and they have to generate e-way bill for the movement of goods. And for generation of e-way bill, in this case, the consignment value doesn't matter. If you want, you can go back to the registration chapter in under section 23. This provision is there. This provision is there, guys. So you can just try to recall. I repeat, for the person who is supplying the notified handicraft goods or the goods which are predominantly made by hand, that is craftsman, even if they are supplying the goods outside the state, still registration is not mandatory as per section 24. Section 23 is telling subject to condition for them the registration is exempted. What is it? Their aggregate turnover is within 20 lakh or 10 lakh in case of special states. They should have a PAN and they should generate e-way bill for the movement of goods irrespective of their consignment value. Whether consignment value is less than 50,000 or more than 50,000 doesn't matter. Sir, even if they are not registered under GST, still can they generate e-way bill? Yes, they have that such options now. They have such options now. Even an unregistered person under GST can generate e-way bill, guys. What is it? We will see later. We have a provision for it. Oh, done with first point. Next, second point. Where the consigner, I already told you, for e-way bill, they use the word consigner and consignee. Consigner is nothing but the supplier, whereas consignee means recipient, guys. Normally, the person who causes the movement of goods, who is that person is supplier. That is consigner. He is the one who is supposed to generate e-way bill. But if in case, if he cannot generate or if he has not generated, then it can be generated by recipient or the transporter. Got it? Yes. Okay. Where the consignor or consignee has not generated the e-way bill in form GST EWB01 and the aggregate of consignment value of goods carried in the conveyance is nothing but vehicle, guys, is more than 50,000, then the transporter shall generate the e-way bill in form GST EWB01 on the basis of invoice or bill of supply or a delivery challan, and may also generate a consolidated e-way bill in GST EWB02 on the common portal prior to the movement of goods. But this is optional. What is this consolidated? We will see later. Okay. Now, if e-way bill is not generated by either the consignor or consignee, but the consignment value is more than 50,000, then the transporter can generate e-way bill. Now, how will he has the details, sir? Guys, for the supply of goods, the invoice will be generated in 3 copies, triplicate. One is for supplier, one is for recipient, the other one is for transporter. Yes. So the transporter also will have a copy of invoice, or if it is an exempt goods, bill of supply, or he can also, if it is not for a supply, then he will have a delivery challan. Yes. Either of this document he will be having. Using that, he can generate e-way bill. But transporter cannot generate e-way bill with respect to transportation of goods by railways, air or vessel. If this is the mode of transportation, then the e-way bill has to be generated by the consigner or the consignee, guys. I have given that in the next point. Third one, whatever I have highlighted here, no, that I have given in this point. Where the goods are transported by railways or by air or vessel, the e-way bill shall be generated by the registered person, being the supplier, that is the consigner, or the recipient, that is the consignee, either before or after the commencement of movement. So, movement of goods. Sir, with respect to this, even after the movement starts, can we generate e-way bill? Yes. Actually, if it is transportation of goods by road, before the movement starts, you have to generate e-way bill. Before the movement of vehicle starts, movement of goods means obviously goods will move in what? Vehicle. So before the vehicle movement starts, we have to generate e-way bill. Whereas here they are telling if the transportation is through railways, air, that is flight, or vessel, that is ship, then the e-way bill has to be generated either by the supplier or recipient before or even after the commencement of movement. Okay, here that benefit is given. Fourth one. Registered person or the transporter may, at his option, generate and carry the e-way bill even if the value of consignment is less than 50,000. That is voluntary. I already mentioned it. If consignment value is less than 50,000, then it is voluntary. But if it is more than 50,000, mandatory. Oh. E-way bill is valid for the movement of goods by road only when the information in part B is furnished. Sir, in part B, guys, part A is what details? Goods details. We already discussed. Yes, sir. Now, once part A details is given, within 15 days, part B details has to be updated. Once part A details, guys, here I have mentioned part A. That is what details? Goods details. Now, within 15 days, the vehicle details has to be updated in part B. Part B is all about vehicle details along with vehicle numbers. Yes, sir. But exceptions means in the following cases, part B details is not required. When is it, sir? However, details of conveyance may not be, conveyance means again vehicle, may not be furnished in part B of the e-way bill where the goods are transported for a distance of up to 50 km within the state or union territory. From where to where, sir? Guys, simple, listen here. Within 50 km within the same state. Okay, na? Up to 50 within same state. Oh. From where to where, sir? From consigner place to, that is supplier's place to the transporter's place. If the distance is within 50 km and within the same state, then part B details is not mandate. Okay, sir. Same way, if it is from transporter's place to recipient's place, that is consignee. If the distance is within 50 km and if it is within the same state, they are telling part B is not mandate. If you want, you can give it, but not mandate. Is that clear? Sir, what if the goods are directly going from supplier's place to recipient's place? In that case, part B details is mandatory. Even if it is within 50 kilometers, even if it is within the same state, then e-way bill, part B details is mandatory, guys. Hope you understood. Only if goods is going from supplier's place to transporters. Assume it is going from supplier's factory to transporter's godown. Or from transporter's godown, it is going to recipient's place. If it is one way, that is from suppliers to transportation. Or from transporter's place to recipient. If it is within 50 and if it is within the same state, they are telling no. Part B is not mandate. Okay. Next. This is a recent amendment, guys. Following, sixth point. Following persons required to generate the e-way bill shall submit the details electronically on the common portal in the prescribed form, and upon validation of details so furnished, a unique enrollment number shall be generated and communicated to the said person. Who is that said person means? Guys, even an unregistered person can generate e-way bill now. And when he's generating e-way bill, as he doesn't have his GST IN, sir, can he generate the e-way bill? Yes, he can generate. And for him, a unique enrollment number will be issued, guys. He can generate a unique enrollment number. So who are those, sir? An unregistered person making interstate transport of handicapped goods exempted from obtaining compulsory registration as per section 23 and required to generate an e-way bill irrespective of the value of consignment, which we already spoke Yes, sir. Then an unregistered person who is opting to generate e-way bill. So in simple, when a person is not registered under GST, he can still generate the e-way bill. And when he give the details, a unique enrollment number will be generated, guys. Clear? Or else assume I am the supplier, I am not registered under GST. Instead of me generating e-way bill, can I ask recipient or transporter to generate e-way bill? Yes, we can do that way also. But there can be a rare case where all three people are not registered under GST, supplier as well as recipient or even the transporter. In that case, can we still generate e-way bill? Yes, guys. That is what is covered in this sixth point. Next, seventh one. Upon generation of e-way bill on the common portal, a unique e-way bill number, that is EBN, shall be made available to the supplier, the recipient, as well as transporter. Now, using that e-way bill number, can anyone update the details or track the movement of vehicle? Yes, movement of vehicle along with goods. Okay, sir. Yes. So normally what happens? No, the supplier will generate e-way bill, give the details of the goods in part A, update it, and he will share the e-way bill number with the transporter. And transporter will update the vehicle details in part B because he is a better person to know the vehicle details and all. Got it? Yes. Next, eighth one. Where the goods are transferred from one conveyance to another, that is from one vehicle to another, the consignor or the recipient or the transporter shall, before such transfer and further movement of goods, update the details of conveyance in the e-way bill on the common portal in part B of Form GST EWB 01. The user can update part B, that is vehicle details, as many times as he wants for movement of goods to destination. However, the updating should be done within the validity period. There is a validity period for a e-way bill. So can we update the vehicle details any number of times within the validity period? Yes, guys. Whenever there is a shifting of goods from one vehicle to another vehicle or from one conveyance to another conveyance, we need to immediately update the details. Okay. Where, sir? In part B of EWB 01. Yes, just a minute. Okay. You can see here, I have just given an example image. Now assume goods were going in vehicle 1. Now in between, in transit, it is shifted to vehicle 2. It is shifted to vehicle 2. So previously in part B, this vehicle numbers would have been updated. Yes, sir. When goods are getting shifted, before the movement of goods in this vehicle starts, that is vehicle 2 starts, the vehicle details has to be updated, guys. Vehicle detail has to be updated. Normally this is done by transporter because he is the person who is handling all this. No, so he will be knowing it better with respect to the vehicle details, so he will update it. Sir, is there any limit to update the vehicle details any number of times, like only maximum 2, 3 and all? No, guys. So it can be done for a better transportation system. Sometimes goods will be carried in small vehicles, it will be assembled in one place, then from there it will be carried in a big truck, anything like that. Or else sometimes during the transit, if there is any breakage or the repair of a vehicle, then the goods can be shifted to another vehicle and the second vehicle will continue. Got it? Yes, sir. For any reason, the goods can be shifted from one vehicle to another vehicle, and when it is shifted, immediately the new vehicle details has to be updated. Before the movement of this vehicle start itself, it has to be updated in part B. Okay, sir. Next. Where the goods are transferred from one conveyance to another. Okay, this is done. This is done. Oh, next. There can also be a case where one e-way bill can go through multiple modes of transportation before reaching destination. As per the mode of transportation, the e-way bill number, e-way bill can be updated with new mode of transportation by air or by water or by ship or by road or by vehicle, like that. Clear? So whenever the goods are moving in multiple modes of transportation, like by air or water or road or even railways, so as and when there is a change in the mode of transportation, we need to update the details in part B. Okay. Using the option of update vehicle number, guys. Okay. Then coming to the ninth point, where multiple consignment are intended to be transported in one conveyance, the transporter may indicate the serial number of e-way bills generated in respect of each such consignment electronically on the common portal, and a consolidated e-way bill in form GST EWB 02. E-way bill is 01. This is consolidated. Okay. May be generated by him on the said common portal prior to the movement of goods, and it is purely optional and not mandatory, guys. Okay. For example, assume a transporter is carrying all our goods, mine along with you, in one single vehicle. In single vehicle. Now, for each supplier or consignor, you would have already generated e-way bill, or we would have generated the e-way bill. Okay. Instead of carrying, assume 10, 15 e-way bill, can you consolidate all this and generate one consolidated e-way bill? Yes. I repeat, assume the transporter is carrying the goods of 10 different people in this vehicle. Okay. That means already 10 e-way bill would have been generated. Yes. So instead of carrying 10 different e-way bill, using all this, can he consolidate and generate one e-way bill? Yes. But it is optional. If he wants, he can carry all 10 separately. If not, he can generate one consolidated e-way bill, guys. Is that clear? Yes. Okay. Consolidated means in which form? EWB02. So it is easy to remember. When there are two or more e-way bill already generated for the goods which is moving in the same conveyance, then such e-way bills can be consolidated to generate one consolidated e-way bill in EWB02, guys. Okay, sir. Next, cancellation of e-way bill. Sir, once e-way bill is generated, is it like always active? Should movement happens? No. So there can be a cases where, assume now you ordered the goods with me. I generated the e-way bill, arranged for the transportation, everything. Now goods are about to leave my place, but you called and told, because sir, thank you, I don't want your goods. I got a better person to supply the goods and you cancel the order. I have already generated the e-way bill. So does it mean that movement has to happen? No. If there is no movement of goods, then whatever e-way bill has been generated, we can cancel it. Or else it can also happen like this. Assume you ordered for 1000 kgs of goods. So I already generated the e-way bill giving the quantity as 1000 kgs. But later, tomorrow you called and told, because sir, no, I want only 800. Or else you told, because sir, I want 1500. So there is a change in quantity. In that case, I need to cancel the old e-way bill and generate a new e-way bill for a revised quantity, guys. For a revised quantity. Yes, let me read it. Where an e-way bill has been generated under this rule, but goods are either not transported or not transported as per the details furnished in the e-way bill, that is change in the quantity. The e-way bill may be cancelled electronically on the common portal within 24 hours of generation of e-way bill. But if there is already a movement of goods by conveyance, and if the proper officer has already checked it, sir, in that case, it is understood the movement, there is already a movement of goods. Can we cancel the e-way bill? No, 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 no. That's not possible. Provided that an e-way bill cannot be cancelled if it has been verified in transit in accordance with the provisions of Rule 138B. By whom? By the proper officer. If proper officer has already verified it in the transit, now that means that there is already a movement of goods. Now can I cancel e-way bill? No. You can cancel the e-way bill when there is no movement of goods. You already generated the e-way bill, but later the recipient cancelled the order, or he asked to change the quantity. In that case, we can cancel the e-way bill. Okay. Further, unique e-way bill number generated is valid for a period of 15 days for updation of what? Part B details. I told you, once we generate e-way bill by giving the details of goods in Part A, we have 15 days time to update the vehicle details in Part B. Okay. So from Part A to Part B, you have 15 days time. And once Part B details is updated, the validity period of e-way bill will start. Validity period of e-way bill will not start when you give Part A details. Validity period of e-way bill will start only when you give Part B details. So it is always better to give the vehicle details in Part B before the movement of goods starts, or before the movement of vehicle starts, guys, or maybe few hours before. Got it? Yes. For example, assume the movement of vehicle will start 3 days later. So better to generate before that, on that day morning, or maybe the previous night, guys. Okay. So what is the validity period of e-way bill or consolidated e-way bill? In case of dimensional cargo, up to 200 kilometer, it is 1 day. Then over and about 200 kilometer, for every another 200 kilometer, it will be one more additional day. Simple. Up to 200 kilometer, any kilometer. Assume it is the distance is 180 kilometers. How many days it is valid? 1 day. Then over and about 200, for every another 200, one extra day. For example, assume the total distance is 380. So 380 divided by 200 you can do. Got it? And you always round it off to next whole number. So it is 2 days. Sir, assume it is 780. 780 divided by 200 you. How much ever you get, round it off. So it is like 4 days. 4 days. Is that clear? So always round it off. Don't take any decimals and all. Round it off to next. So for example, even if it is 3.2, take 4 days. 3.1, take 4 days. Sir, 3.7, 3.9, take 4 days. Any decimal, round it up to next day, guys. Is that clear? Sir, what if it is 202 kilometers? Still you will get a benefit of 2 days only. 2 days itself. Okay, sir. Then in case of over-dimensional cargo or multimodal shipment in which at least one leg involves shipment by ship, means, sir, at least there is a movement of ship in that transportation. In that case, instead of 200, it is 220. Okay, that is 10 less, not 220, only 20. Yes. So up to 20 kilometer, it is 1 day. For every 20 kilometer or part thereof over and about 20 kilometer, it is one more additional day. For example, assume it is 180. Sorry, 180. You divide it by 20. You divide it by 20. Is that clear? Sir, what if it is 380? Divide it by 20. Sir, 780. Divide it by 20. Easy. Just keep doing like that. Yeah, and what is over dimensional cargo and all, you need not worry because that is not a part of GST. If it is dimensional or over dimensional, they will be giving it in the question, guys. If by chance, if question is silent, you can go with dimensional. Okay. If they are clearly special over dimensional, you can go with. Is that clear? But they will give it, guys, because obviously we cannot decide based on the length of the vehicle and all. Will we have an idea about it? No. Got it? Yes, sir. Over dimensional cargo in simple means, guys, the heavy loaded vehicles. Clear, where they will not be traveling so fast in the highways and all. You guys would have observed the heavyweight vehicles, okay, which will be going very slow because they have a speed limits and they will be carrying heavy weight, so they will cannot cross a certain speed limit. So that is why for them more and more time limit is given. Okay, sir. Provided further that where under the circumstances of an exceptional nature, natural calamity, law and order issue, accident of conveyance, etc., including the transshipment, the goods cannot be transported within the validity period of the e-waybill, the transporter may extend the validity period after updating the details in Part B of Form GST EWB01 if required. If required. Okay. Because sometimes due to any damage or repair or the breakdown of vehicles also, we cannot deliver on time. Or even if it is like any natural calamity or strike happening, sir, there is no movement of vehicles happening. In that case, can we ask for extension? Yes. The validity of e-way bill may be extended within 8 hours from the time of its expiry. So if once the validity period has expired within 8 hours, you should ask for an extension specifying the reason. Specifying the reason, guys. Oh, sir, okay, we understood what is the validity period. When will the validity period start and when will it end? Guys, the starting period is always 12 a.m. and even the ending time is the midnight, guys. Clear? You would have generated at 6 p.m., 5 p.m., 4 p.m. or 10 a.m. in the morning, whatever time. The first day will always start from 12 a.m. 12 a.m. For example, please listen here. Please listen here. Assume we are generating on 20th e-way bill. Part B details we are updating on 20th. Whether it is at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. or even 6 p.m. or 2 p.m. whatever time. Okay. The date would be locked, but the validity period will not start from 20th. The validity period will start from 21st early morning. 21st early morning, that is next day early morning, guys. So the validity period will start from 21st 12 a.m. First day will end between 21st and 22nd. Second day will end between 22nd and 23rd midnight, guys. Is that clear? So I repeat, Once the e-way bill is generated by giving the part B details, immediately the validity period has to start. But we will just lock the time. Will it start immediately? No. The first day will start from 12 a.m. of the next day. That is the early morning of next day, guys. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Explanation. Relevant date means the date on which the e-way bill has been generated, and the period of validity shall be counted from the time at which the e-way bill has been generated, and each day shall be counted as the period expiring at the midnight, which is 12 a.m. of the day immediately following the date of generation of e-way bill. Yes, sir. The validity of e-way bill starts when the first entry is made in part B. Say actual validity will not start, only we will lock that time. But the first day will start from when? 12 a.m. of next day. Okay. So the validity period will start actually once you have given the part B details. But will the first day itself will start from there? No, no. We will lock that time and date. The first day will start from 12 a.m. of next day, guys. That is, vehicle entry is made first time in case of road transportation, or first transport document number entry in case of rail, air, ship transportation, whichever is the first entry. It may be noted that the validity is not recalculated for the subsequent entries in part B. Sir, if there is any change of vehicles or conveyance, will the validity period getting extended? No, no, no. You may change the vehicles any number of times, but the validity period remains same for all vehicles put together. For all vehicles put together. Come on, guys. Let us just recap it. Now, we have to give the goods details in part A. Once we give goods details in part A, e-way bill number will be generated. Using that, either the supplier, recipient, or the transporter can update the vehicle details in part B of EWB01 within 15 days. And once part B details is given in EWB01, the time and date will be locked. The validity period starts on? Yes, but the first day will start from 12 a.m. of next day. That is early morning of next day. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Just a minute. I have given few example in my provision book. I will just show you. Yeah. What is over-dimensional cargo also? I have just given it. Sir, are we supposed to know it? No, guys. It is given in actually Motor Vehicles Act. Over-dimensional cargo means a cargo carried as a single indivisible unit, one vehicle, and which exceeds the dimensional limits prescribed in Rule 93 of Central Motor Vehicles Rules 1989, made under the Motor Vehicles Act 1988. That's all. Okay, fine. I have given the example here. Just have a look. Suppose an e-way bill is generated at 12:04. That is early morning e-way bill is generated. Part B details is given. Okay. On 14th March. Then the first day would end on 12 midnight of 15th and 16th. First day will start between what gate, guys? 14th and 15th. End of 14th and start of 15th is there? No. That start of 15th is the start first day. Beginning of first day. Yes. Sir, when will the first day end, sir? In between 15th and 16th, guys. That is the end of 15th and the start of 16th. And second day will end when, sir? At 12 in the midnight between 16th and 17th. That is end of 16th March and the start of 17th March. Okay. Next, B. Suppose an e-way bill is generated at 11:58 hours. So the first day will start in next to 2 minutes. The first day will start in next to 2 minutes, guys, on 14th March. So the first day will start between 14th and 15th. That is end of 14th and beginning of 15th. That is in simple if I have to tell in next to 2 minutes. Then the first day would end on 12 midnight between 15th and 16th. End, please be careful, not the start. Okay. The second day will end on 12 midnight between 16th and 17th March. Is that clear? Yes. And there are also cases for few goods, e-way bill need not be generated, guys. Just a minute. For few goods, e-way bill need not be generated. I have just given the list here. This is a part of my provision book. If you want, you can just pause for a minute and just go through the list. For the following goods, irrespective of the consignment value, e-way bill is not required, guys. E-way bill is not required. I will just show you the list. So in all these cases, whatever I just now showed, e-way bill is not required. Okay, sir. Fine. 12th point. The e-way bill generated under this rule shall be valid in every state and union territory. Sir, is it required to generate a separate e-way bill in each and every state? No, no, it's not required. It will be valid throughout India. Then 13. If multiple invoices are issued by the supplier to the recipient, multiple e-way bills have to be generated. That is, for each invoice, one e-way bill has to be generated, irrespective of the fact whether same or different consignor or consignees are involved. For example, assume I have issued a separate 10 invoices for the recipient, and all these goods are going in one vehicle. Can we generate only one e-way bill? No. For each invoice, one separate e-way bill has to be generated. And if all these goods are going in one conveyance, maybe consolidating all 10 e-way bills, we can generate, or the transporter can generate one consolidated e-way bill. So first see straight away, can we generate consolidated e-way bill? No, no, no. First generate separate e-way bill for each and every invoice. Later, if all the goods are moved in the one vehicle, then the transporter has an option to generate one consolidated e-way bill. Is that clear? So in simple guys, one e-way bill for each invoice. That's all. Multiple invoices cannot be clubbed to generate one e-way bill. However, after generating all these e-way bills, one consolidated e-way bill can be prepared for the transportation purpose if the goods are going in same vehicle. Only that case. Sir, if goods are going in different vehicles, can we generate consolidated e-way bill? No, 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 not at all. Ah. Then rule 138A. Documents and devices to be carried by a person in charge of conveyance. That is the transporter. The person in charge of conveyance shall carry. Person in charge of conveyance is like transporter or even the driver. Yes. The invoice or bill of supply or delivery challan, as the case may be, means any one of this document. Along with that, and means any one of this, along with that, a copy of e-way bill in physical form or the e-way bill number in the electronic form are mapped to RFID, that is radio frequency identification device, which is embedded on the conveyance guys. So this is the device which is embedded or fixed or attached on the vehicle. If the proper officer stop this vehicle in between, that is during transit, if the proper officer just scan that, he will be able to identify what goods are there inside the vehicle, it belongs to whom, who is the consigner, who is the consignee, where is it going to, where is it coming from, all the details he can get it. Got it? Yes. But this RFID device are not there in case of movement of goods by rail, by air or vessel guys. It is only for the movement of goods by road in the vehicles. Is that clear? That is with respect to RFID. Next. Tax invoice or bill of supply to accompany transport of goods. Rule 55A. Person in charge of conveyance shall carry a copy of tax invoice or bill of supply in case of exempt goods. In a case where such person is not required to carry an e-way bill under these rules. Guys, for example, if consignment value is less than 50,000, at least one of this document he has to carry. Clear? So if consignment value is more than 50,000, then this along with this. Got it? Yes. Next, from rule 138, it gives power to the proper officer. What can he do? Can he stop the vehicle during transit? Can he verify the details? Yes. Can he detain the vehicle also? Yes. All the details are given here. Verification of documents and conveyances under rule 138B. The commissioner or the officer empowered by him in this behalf may authorize the proper officer to intercept, that is, to stop any conveyance, to verify the e-way bill in physical or electronic form for all interstate as well as intrastate movement of goods, whether it is within the state or outside the state. Next, inspection and verification of goods as per rule 138C. A summary report. Okay, once the vehicle or conveyance has been intercepted and once it has been verified, then the proper officer has to give the details of that verification. Okay, on GST portal. A summary report of every inspection of goods in transit shall be recorded online by the proper officer in part A of the prescribed form within 24 hours of the inspection, and the final report in part B of the said form shall be recorded within 3 days of such inspection. So summary report in part A within 24 hours and the final report in part B within 3 days. And this 3 days can be further extended for another 3 days guys, if there is any genuine reason. Okay. Next. The period of 24 hours or 3 days will be counted from when? From the midnight. From the midnight of the date on which the vehicle was intercepted. So assume today the vehicle was intercepted at 3 p.m. So this 24 hours or 3 days will count from the midnight. That is the end of today and the beginning of next day. In simple, 12 midnight. Is that clear? Yes. Facility for uploading information regarding the detention of vehicle in Rule 138B. If the vehicle is detained by the proper officer for more than 30 minutes, then he need to update the details, guys. He need to update the details on the GST portal. Why so? Because this will have an impact on even the validity period. Because the transporter might not be able to deliver the goods within the validity period. So if the vehicle has been intercepted or detained by the proper officer for more than 30 minutes, you need to update the details immediately on the GST portal. So that if goods couldn't be delivered within the validity period, the transporter can take that as a reason for asking extension. Extension in validity period. Okay. Then blocking of e-way bill generation facility, Rule 138E. First, we will see when the GST IN of a person will be blocked to generate e-way bill, guys. Okay, it is given here. As per Rule 138E, no person shall be allowed to furnish the information in Part A, that is goods details, of Form GST EWB01 in respect of any outward movement of goods of a registered person. So, with respect to my sales, I cannot generate e-way bill if I am covered under any of these points. Sir, what is it? Being a person paying tax under composition scheme under section 10 has not furnished the payment statement in CMP 08 for 2 consecutive quarters. So for a composition supplier, they have to pay tax quarterly and file payment statement in CMP 08. If they have not filed it for 2 continuous quarters, then their GST IN can be blocked to generate e-way bill for their outward supply. Okay, next. Being a person paying tax under the regular scheme, that is section 9, has not furnished GSTR 1 statement of outward supply for any 2 months if they are filing it monthly or if they are following quarterly 2 continuous quarters, guys. That is QRMP. Then the last one, being a person whose registration has been suspended under the provisions of Rule 21A, when the cancellation proceedings has been initiated till it is completed, the registration would be suspended. So during suspension period, can I generate e-way bill using my GST IN for my outward supply? No, I cannot. Is that clear? So please be very careful, guys. If in any of this case, if I am covered, I cannot use my GST IN to generate e-way bill for my outward movement of goods. But can I generate e-way bill for my inward supply? Yes, I can. Or else for my outward supply, if my GST IN is blocked, can I ask my recipient to generate e-way bill? Yes. So listen here, guys. If my GST IN is blocked to generate e-way bill for any of this reason, as a supplier, I cannot generate e-way bill. But for my inward supply, can I generate e-way bill as a recipient? Yes. Or else, for my outward supply, can I ask my recipient to generate e-way bill using his GST IN? Yes, I can. I can. Okay. Blocking of e-way bill generation facility means disabling the taxpayer from generating the e-way bill. Okay. Blocking of GST IN for e-way bill generation would only be for defaulting supplier. Who? Defaulting supplier GST IN and not for the defaulting recipient or transporter GST IN. Suspended GST IN cannot generate e-way bill as the supplier. But can they generate it as a recipient? Yes. However, the suspended GSTN can get the e-way bill generated as a recipient or even as a transporter, guys. Is that clear? Yes, sir. So this is all about the provisions with respect to e-way bill, guys. So come to the section list. We have covered section 68 of CGST Act along with few rules. Okay. See, in between sections, we will be covering it in the upcoming chapters with respect to returns, payment and all. Yes. So 68 I have given you, we have covered. And whatever we have covered under CGST Act, same to same is applicable even under IGST Act, guys. Got it? And here, actually after 53, I have straight away given 68 because in between sections are not a part of your syllabus. That is why. Done, guys.